me no kwe la funu dalo. No. Asui. Me la funu da. Asui. On va pas les voix dans les voix. On va pas les voix dans les voix. On va pas les voix dans les voix.
Ava mama la gali drolo. Ava mama la gali drolo. Awi now.
island in the Caribbean inhabited by just over 11 million people. The Cuban population can be described as a multi-ethnic melting pot with European, African, Latin American, and even Asian influences. As a result, Cuba is home to various religions from Roman Catholicism to Congolese Palo Mayombe. 18th and 19th century Cuba thrived on coffee and sugar plantations that were cultivated by hundreds and thousands of West African slaves. By the peak of Cuba's slave-based economy, nearly a third of the island's population consisted of slaves. Only after nearly 400 years of backbreaking slave labor, in 1886 did the Royal Spanish Decree officially abolish slavery in Cuba. The majority of slaves in Cuba were forcibly brought from West Africa and stripped of all their possessions and dignity. However, not even the whips of their slave masters could destroy their ties to Africa. Their culture, food, music, dance, and religious identity all made the journey with them. Yet, on the island, slave masters forbade them from practicing their indigenous religions, concerned it could lead to slave unity that could give rise to rebellion.
Cuando llegaron los negros africanos, llegaron aquí a Cuba, ellos tenían los secretos de muchas religiones, lo mismo el santo, lo mismo el palo. Dentro del palo solamente podían practicarlo nada más los negros, pero los blancos que dominaban a los negros no le dieron el permiso porque traían muchos secretos. Y con esos secretos podían eliminar muchas cosas, inclusive hasta la vida de una persona.
They were therefore forced to adopt Christianity by law. Despite all these obstacles, West African slaves were determined to preserve their African spiritual roots. They understood that in the face of a violent storm, only the most flexible trees would survive, whereas the ones that refused to bend would be ripped out of the ground and die. Thus, from as early as 1515, and without the knowledge of their slave masters, West African slaves started to syncretize their African deities with Roman Catholic saints to mask and preserve their religious practices. The slaves were secretly worshipping their African gods under the facade of praying to Catholic saints to avoid unwanted attention from slave masters. This is how Santeria, also known as La Regla Lukumi, was born. Every Yoruba deity, known as Orisha, was given a Catholic saint equivalent. Oshun, the sensual goddess of love and femininity, became Our Lady of Charity. Shango, the thunderous king of the heavens, became known as Saint Barbara. Ochosi, the skilled hunter and the Orisha of justice, was equated to Saint Norbert. Yemaya, the mother of all living things and the queen of the sea, became the Virgin of Regla. Orumila, the deity of wisdom and foresight, was now Saint Francisco. And Obatala, the father of all Orishas and the owner of everybody's head or consciousness, was tied to Jesus Christ, and so on. Each Orisha was given a distinct set of colors to represent it and be worn by its devotees in the form of necklaces and bracelets known as elekes and ides.
Y este es de Yemaya, de la reina de los mares. Aquí tenemos los ideses, que es donde viene el Badalá, el ide de Badalá, el ide de Changó, el ide de Yemaya, el ide de Ochosi, el ide de Ochun y los ideses que son de Orulas.
Mira, los babalá él es babalao, el de la cabeza amarilla babalao, enséñale lo que lleva a poner. Eso es lo que tú tienes que usar.
Esto tú tienes que usarlo, mira, por obligación. tú
Los
tienes que
babalaos se
usarlo.
reconocen por eso.
Por obligación. El babalao
Debe.
se reconoce porque tú tienes orula.
Sí.
¿Me entiendes?
Throughout our trip, we stayed at the house of Ana Soila Perez, an Oshun and Ifa priestess living in Havana. A 30-year practitioner of Santeria, Ana, or Madrina as we call her, is a member of the Yoruba Association of Cuba who earns a living by doing Orisha initiations and using her talents as an artist to craft colorful Santeria bracelets and necklaces. In our first few days in Havana, we went to Madrina's father, a high-ranking Babalao named Miguel Angel Perez, for an Ifa divination session. A Babalao, a term that directly translates to father of the secrets, denotes a priest of Ifa in the Yoruba religion. And at 83 years old, Miguel had been a Babalao for over 40 years. His demeanor reminded us of our wise spiritual elders known as Bokors in Ghana.
¿Cuántos usted necesita por derecho? 20. Pedro pues bueno fue un lazo tuvo un malo con santo una masacre Carlos Martínez Vidente de Dios pues fue un culo a ponerme ahorita va a conseguir de tan pico que te va a la moda salino de Cungunta Heredio Martino Canalleco Benito Herrera Gunda que te Jacinto Pesa Fernando Pecana Manolo Peña Pero Mojones Maqueta Canahuete H baba H Yeye H Corda H Corolifa H Meolui Alocha Babalocha Acoderi Acaya por ahí Acuadu Acuausi.
Ask Ifa for anything. So the system of divination that we're going to use is called Ifa, and it's a system that came from Nigeria. The slaves brought it with them. But basically the divination is based on predetermined signs. So there are a total of 256 signs of when he throws the chain, which is called the equele over here. And each sign has a specific message for the person. It has the specific songs attached to it. It has the specific guidelines, dietary guidelines, behavioral guidelines, the necessary sacrifices that you must do. And so when you're going to do a divination, you don't tell the Babalao what you came to do. You speak in the derecho, which is the 20 CUC. You're going to, hold it in your hand, and he's going to call Ifa. And then when he throws it, the sign should tell him what is happening to you and what is the best thing for you to do right now, spiritually, for you to be the best person of yourself.
Doing a divination in Cuba was very interesting. There were some few differences between how it's done in Ghana and how it's done in Cuba. One of the first things I noticed was in Ghana, the Bokor is always sitting on a mat on the floor, whereas in Cuba we did it on a table. And obviously the language difference. In Ghana it's conducted in Ewe, whereas in Cuba they speak a liturgical dialect of Yoruba called Lukumi. So there are some minor differences in pronunciation of the signs and also the chain. In Ghana we call the chain the gumaga, and in Cuba it's called equele. And in Ghana they're made with palm kernels, whereas in Cuba it's coconut shells and mango seeds. And it was very interesting because I got some advice. Some advice that I had got from my Bokors in Ghana was the same thing I was told in Cuba, and I was very surprised at that. And I was just very impressed at how the Cubans were able to maintain the spiritual practice with such accuracy over such a long time. It was amazing to watch.
El primer rey, Eyope. Este, Ogundameyi. Este, Osameyi. Este, Ikameyi. Este, Otrubomeyi. ¿Sabe cuántos sueldos sale ahí? 256 meses. Este ligado con este y este ligado con este.
Going to the church of Saint Lazaro or Babalu Aye was a very eye-opening experience for me, because it was the first time in which where I saw people who practice West African religion and people who practice Christianity all in the same place and able to worship. So you had people who were wearing like their traditional beads who represent like the Orisha faith, and then normal, Catholics, and then they were praying to the same, deities. They were, doing ablution and cleansing themselves in the same stream, and it was very peaceful. And for me, it was nice to see that in Cuba, because in Ghana or in a lot of African countries, it's seen as being, you can never practice the traditional at the same time practice Christianity. They are seen as mutually exclusive. Whereas in Cuba, we're all practicing this together, and that was very interesting to see. And it shows, or it proves to me that Christianity and traditional African religion are not mutually exclusive. They can exist harmoniously and peacefully in the same place. You just need an open mind and tolerance. All people who came on the trip did a divination and a reading with Ifa, and they recommended that we do some rituals. And when they did the reading, they said that it should be me that did the rituals for them. And it was a moment in which we could show the Cuban people what our practice was. So first half of the week, we saw them doing many rituals. They did rituals for me, for Vikram, for everybody, and it was very nice to see that. And so for this part, it was us that were showing them how we do, and we had about 5 different Cuban babalaos or priests, Ifa priests, and they were all very excited to see what we had to offer. And we showed them videos of rituals that we have done in Ghana with our family, with our father, with our cousins. We showed them particularly one video in which my cousin was dancing with knives, and he was doing a warrior dance, and they were watching this video and they were very excited to see this, and they're like, oh wow, it's great to see this African power.
One of my favorite experiences in Cuba was once we were asking a lady for directions and I was filming it, and then she asked me, why are you filming? And so I'm like, oh, we're making a documentary on Cuba. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she tells me to come into her house, and right as we get in there was a big altar with some orishas there. She shows them to me, and then she takes me to another room, and then there are more orishas, and she's just like explaining each to me. And I was just surprised at how welcoming she was and how proud she was to just show me her spiritual thing, because stuff like that would just not happen here in Ghana. People are not so open about their practice, so I was really amazed at that.
So I cried the second day that I was in Cuba at a nightclub, and the reason why I cried was I was so moved by how proud the people were to be African and so proud of their spiritual practice. Going to Cuba made me realize that traditional religion and foreign religions like Christianity are not mutually exclusive, that they can peacefully coexist at the same time. Cuba shows like a nice blend of the two, and it reminded me of the proverb that says, the sky is vast enough that 2 birds flying do not need to fly and bump into one another. And I hope that within my lifetime, I'll see an Africa that is more tolerant of indigenous African religions, and that they could peacefully coexist with foreign religions.
Yes, hello everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you may find yourself in this very moment. This is a Revolution Voodoo Education live streaming question and answer section. I am your host, Christopher Voncujovi, or Bokor Christopher Voncujovi. I'm going to be here to answer your questions, and we will do our best to find answers to the questions that you will be posting and asking me. Thank you very much. I'm going to start first by pouring libation, and then from there we'll go on from there. Thank you very much, everybody. Ago, Mauga Soboli Sanoduago, Mauga Kiki Kakanaduago, Mauga Esse Meduago. Esse Joto, Ame Joto, Esse Enanu, Esse Tenanu, Ame, Woman of Heavy, Doctor Heavy Mayo, Meduago. I send you Popolipo, Mayo, said that Tafia, Mayora Ubugake, Manaqueta, Yalababian, Premium, Bugbe, Doy, Bonimbo, live streaming question and answer. That's yes, even a day and Betomanam, a day and at the bay and that will may you share a hand for a show, but you don't go, you're sending for a show, but don't go. Abraxas, may also and they put on. May all time, they told me if you know, Vesoton, a camera of Dog. They may or may not say, I need to cut Chica's bush and day. May I have a Pamela Peak, a Piwin, a Pamela Juruma, Mayora. When you're in Bama, your floor for playing Bama, Kanya, at the poop at the poop at the car. Oh, may you are kind, but you're kind when you are kind, you're kind, you are kind, trouble, and you are kind, if you are kind, and you are kind. But you might remember how you do lock up another defeat of a sort of you. May you know may you call Bow, Bow, Capo, Pomio, Zango, may you play very active at home, Marcelo. May you not go with your part, John Macua for common volume, and Jimmy Vol, Voodoo, and Benny, who could quite for forming Jobini or Hebero. The one never told I am more you to and quite a prevail. Well, the women, but over two so play, woman not a very cow, to Patamele. I think a John Wamba, meaning Joe Patabefia. Jopata. Not throw my bed down. I've found the read. Jopatano, I think, yeah, I Jopata. And Jopata, the family of a single board, you didn't away in Tapa, where it is Bulu Ajima, or Boju Roger, Homecoming. Valentiva family, Lojo, Nakofu. I was at Ateneo. I think a limayo. Korobo do mayor can take la fia. A yamayo Magasa Segula. Papa Sesse, the Tabagay, and do agree. Mayor Brahini, Mayor Bobochi, Mayor, fully bow, fully common, go to Kuchakuma, somebody Baba. A Kuto Benefana, Bubu, and I'm a good Nefana. A mayor Tony Cospequa could be a young and a cost of a good depend on your phone congregate. That's in our most if you see that cause of Racobra and Bobbin, but Tobina Coffee, Tobina could be a mensa. Mamma Doria Pen, Tecuno, Mayonia, Kuto Benefana, and Bubu, and I'm a good Nefana. A mayor, Poinia Celestia, what could be a Katrina, could be a Fonia Sense, California, or Ben, could be a Kuto Benefana and Bubu, and I got born in the family to be equal of you. A mayor Mias or Concha to be a Sicilia, Penny, a Catherine, or Kuto in the family, and I go in the family. Mayor, I would not to give Bokor to you, Tom, to give Mayor Kiki, has a second. But a super, Paprazo, Mayor Canana, Hanaka Kisia. The Mayor Bokor, the fish so far, but we Bokor, and jogging. Kuto in the family, Tobacco, Kuto in the family. Mais yo tombe ananitre tout le gita goto kuto me fana obubu mais yo on le rapport on le bien avec tombe amaze kuto me fana de bubu mais yo tombe Abraham jibenu le chapen tombe ko kuto me fana lo et yo tombe afachao mais yo Talk if you are tossing on Kavi, a beggar see a botine, put over the fan and and I'm a good fan. May your preview, Brian, you may be to that second way, boy, you may have baton, work mutation, Nasa Kumono, Togo Bobu, put top it, Manchester, put top, Yavitivity, Yamaha. Put up a video by Sina. May your fan go to a family because the people talk so let that part video calling the Beji. You come with you, Dimeji, or so many money, Amadi, Academy. Good damage, Samedi, Kamedi, Triple Meji, Tulamedi, the Temini, Chimney for me. So the Chetulamaya, Club of Women for Guatemala or Guamatola, never put any Club of Women from what to do. Mayo Abuchi Sakrakano Chop, I have to go to Colino Kuna, Torabolo, Chufrata, Missinka, or Kufito Java. Ocho to coffee, Ocho head coffee at Ramayo, Cableno Yodio. The Yama Toga, what to do to Torahu, Rumaya Zapasa, Nuno Hoto, Cosino Hoto, Kiriko. They are the person continue watching the moon watching what Chibi. Tell the Tata pay. May your Tomo no put you off what the Jan watching it a baby every month, but at the funeral of it for loud two than a border and which you want and Trovon and Dovon, you know that. Baby in the movie. You, that the big, no Bugaki, Emily and Bobby Appear. A told me that my book about the woman, my left body will do. I see any load or never. Let me go with every trouble, Mamma, and I'm a patroness. Yeah, better me. To edge. No, you never made any more than me, and I see any. May you let the demon of Porto and Panamera see demon as a passing Nevana. May you let some demon some post on Nevana. May you give him a tap on tan off you. We all school there when a tap on a potani. I'm a secret, any piano. May you have a couple of young people, may you have a little American you know, that's not. Hey, okay, we are ready to go now. I'll start with people on Facebook. We'll read the greetings on Facebook, and then we can continue. We have the first person here, our brother Al-Hassan Haruna in Canada, saying greetings, family. Thank you, Haruna. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. And our big brother, Zuglozo Madia. Greetings, Tobe, greeting to you. Same to you from here. And then we have Telly Marie. Telly, good afternoon, Baba. Hope you are and your family are doing well. May you all have a wonderful weekend. Same to you, Telly Marie. Thank you very much. Then we have country boy Ambe Kumambua watching from Cameroon. Thank you, hello Ambe. How are you? Thank you for joining. We are very grateful you joined. It's been a long time. Then we have our sister Vivian Baka saying greetings, Papa. Hello, Vivian. Thank you very much. Today we are going to do your work and prepare everything, and God willing, during the coming week, things will take off from Accra and to get you where you are. And then we have Brad DT say, how do I get IFA reading for myself? Please go to Revolution page, and then there is a form to fill. When you fill the form, there's instructions on the forms and everything is there, so you can get you know how to get to us. Thank you very much, Brad DT. And then we have Oluchi also, okay, saying great day, Papa, with peace and love. Hello, big sister Oluchi. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, and then we have Amakesha Trotter Nelson. Good afternoon, Anna. Thank you very much, Amakesha. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. And then we have Sister Oluchi's also, okay, say. Thank you very much, big sister. And then we have Raheru Shu Ame watching from Guyana. Thank you very much, Raheru. We are very grateful that you join us this hour. We have Kukubo, God knows. I like the Pepe greetings from Huawei. Thank you very much, Kukubo. Thank you very much. P. That is when you want to speak into the universe. You invoke the universe by those sounds. Then we have our brother in India, Mario Young, saying good evening, Babi, and the AMT family. Greetings from India. Thank you very much, everybody who is now joining us. And then we have a host of people on Clubhouse. Thank you, everybody on Clubhouse. Good afternoon to all of you. And people who have questions, please let your questions start flowing in. Then I'll try as much as possible to answer them for you. We have Lustig here. Good afternoon, Papa. Another blissful week. Bless you, Papa, and bless you, Lustig. Thank you all very much for joining the section today. Yeah, about Kadi, the way it is not the best. We are having this what God is happening to come and go and come and go. So bring it closer. About focus. Come on, focus. Okay. This is fine. No, the orange light is better. Okay, I think we have a Tahiti Mira M saying my boyfriend's family are devotees of Voodoo since his birth, and he says I'm not allowed to cook for him or share his kitchen when I am in my period since we started living together. I know this may vary from place to place, but is there a general reason why girls in their menses are not allowed to do this? What else is a girl in the period not supposed to do around the family to not offend the spirits? Thanks. Akosia from Amasi. Okay, Akosia, the problem is that whether I will call it problem or it's not a problem. There are so many rules and regulations in Voodoo for Voodoo practitioners. And people who take them very serious go to the extent of following some of the extreme rules. But then some people do not really care whether you are in your menses, you can cook for your boyfriend, you can cook for your husband. But then some people who want to do things according to the rules and regulations so that they can also reap the benefits of the Voodoo may go to that extent. So one of the reasons why people who are practicing Voodoo, and I think it's not only Voodoo from Africa, but it is also in India and other parts. I remember some time ago there was a temple in India when they said women between certain ages will not be allowed to go because there's a possibility they may be having their monthly period, and it became a very big fight. Court has to come in, the Supreme Court and all this. The reason is that some of these deities and spirits, because these are spirits, and when you are in your menses and you come to the shrine, sometimes your menstruation will not stop anymore. They don't want to see blood. Just like this big salamander animals in one of these islands, which is like a big lizard. I think people are even advised that when the ladies are in their menses, they shouldn't go near them because they can smell blood from far away and they will attack. So generally, it is the same for spirits, that some spirits do not want to see menses blood. It is more of a human blood, so they may not want to see that kind of blood. So when your boyfriend or husband or partner says that when you are in your menses, don't cook food for him, he may have his own reason, but generally the general rule is that some spirits are not happy with it. We are human beings, we are not spirits. So So if spirits give us rules and regulations, if you want to take that spirit very serious and take the spiritual work very serious, you will go to the extreme. But women who are in menses also practice voodoo. The only thing your teacher may tell you that maybe there are certain shrines that you may have, or there are certain voodoos that you may have when you are in your menses. Don't pray or don't go and pray to the voodoo directly, but you can pray to pour libation for it outside its shrine, but not going into the particular shrine or corner or the altar where you place that voodoo. Because voodoos are spirit, you can be anywhere and pray to them, and they can still be able to listen to your prayer and answer your prayer. So it depends on everybody, different people with their different rules and regulations, different spirits are the same thing. And another thing is that it is believed that during the time of a woman's menstrual cycle, they are cleaning their body, or they are cleansing their body from dirt that might have accumulated through food and drink and all these things. So it's God's way of cleansing the female body. So it is a normal thing that happens. But maybe that moment is a cleansing time. So when you are cleansing yourself to get rid of impurities and whatever, it is also absolutely not the best time to bring that kind of thing towards something that you revere and pray to. But it depends. Some spirits do not care at all. You can handle them. So it depends on your teacher to tell you when not. So Akosia, that is what is the reason. But you can ask your boyfriend to explain more to you. He may have his own reasons. So thank you very much for that question, Akosia. Move the cursor, let's see if there is anything. And then we have Charles Graham saying, good afternoon, Tommy. This is Charles from London. God bless you. Thank you very much, Charles. How are you? It's been a while. Thank you very much for joining the session. Hope you are fine. Hope the whole family is fine. Oh, God bless you too. And then we have Omiwa Ajayemi. Good afternoon, Papa. I love your teaching so much. Thank you, sir, for all you do. May the spirits continue to guide you. Thank you very much, Omiwa Miwa. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful, and I bless you. Thank you very much. Then we have Danish cookies, and speak out very loud scoops. Okay, I don't know what they mean by that, but thank you very much for joining us. And then we have on YouTube, we have Togoji Beza, so I say greetings and good day, Papa, and the AMT family. I hope you are all well today. We are. Thank you very much, Togoji Beza, and thank you for all you're doing. May Father Voodoo and the ancestors continue to guide and bless you and protect you. Thank you very much, Togoji Beza. So and may the ancestors and the Voodoos and Afa continue blessing all of you too. Thank you very much. Then we have Sister Nicole Lesha here again saying Shalom, Salam from Israel, Baba Christopher. Hello, thank you very much, Sister Nicole Lesha. We are very grateful that you have time to join the section today. Shalom to you too. Thank you very much. And then we have Tomeji Bezasa Soka. You look happy and joyful today, Papa. Could you share the significance and importance of turtles in Ebe Afa? If someone was told they need to keep turtles, does that have any specific meaning? Okay, Tommy, thank you very much. You said I look very cheerful because these days I'm trying to eat very much on time. I haven't been really eating on time, and that was telling on my health. So I learned that I need to eat on time and then also rest enough. So that's what I've been doing, take my medicine, and then I have seen so much improvement. Even before I was taking medicine all the time, but I was not really eating food on time. I came to realize that eating a breakfast in the morning between the hours of 7 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock, within that time, to eat a breakfast or eat your first meal is very, very, very important for your body and for your health. So this is what changes are coming in my life by me observing all these kind of natural rules that I kind of ignore. I thought they were not so important because food wasn't something very, very important to me until now, before I beginning to realize that it is very important to eat breakfast, especially breakfast. And all of you should also try it and see if it works for you. No, fasting is not the key to let you be able to be powerful in spirituality. I want to say it again. It is not fasting that makes you powerful in spirituality. What fasting does for you is to make your body weak so that your inner self can have chance to be able to work and get results. But there are so many other ways when you know the correct formula and you apply the formula, whether you are fasting or you are not fasting. The formula, if the formula is correct, you will get the results. So that fasting, people denying themselves think that's the way to get things. It's not. Look for the formula. Look for the way to apply the formula, and you will be fine. Thank you very much. So your question that if keeping turtles in this, I'm not so much sure about turtles in every voodoo. But in every voodoo, generally, everything matters. Everything, even snake. There are so many things that matters in every voodoo. Everything in nature matters. So when someone tells you that you should be keeping a turtle, then there is a possibility that they did a reading, and then turtle appears in your reading to be a guiding energy or something like that. And then they may advise you if you can keep them or take care of them so that they can work for the energy of the turtle. And I'm talking about the psychic energy from the spiritual sphere may work for you. In my case, the oracle that I am on in Afar requires me to keep pigeons if I want to. So, but then before I got far, I had already been keeping pigeons. I had pigeons that have been with me here for over 25 years, and they are still here in their numerous numbers. So I didn't even know that it was in my Afar body that I have to keep pigeons, but I had always been keeping pigeons. And I'm still having them. Even when I was living in Thailand, I had kept doves. When I was living in Japan, I kept doves, and I was taking care of them. So naturally, I was already vibrating that process already of keeping pigeon or doves all my life, even before getting fast. So if someone tells you that we should keep turtles, then the person probably has something. I would be very happy if you ask the person what was the purpose. He may probably, or he or she may be able to tell you the reason. But from every point of view, everything in nature matters a lot. You'll be surprised. Even the house fly matters a lot. Thank you very much. And then we have Monty Ter here. Greetings, Papa, and viewers around the world. Thank you very much, Monty. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. And how is everything with you? Hope you are fine. My regards to everybody and my blessings to you. Thank you very much to make the time to join. What is it? Are you sure? There is no other one. Okay. Okay, so if anybody on Clubhouse wanted to say anything, please go ahead and say.
Greetings, Papa.
Greetings, Baba. Is it Baba Wakiri?
No, it's Shamba.
Shamba. Oh.
Yeah.
How are you?
How you doing, Papa?
Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine. Today I'm doing very well. How is your mom? Yesterday was her birthday.
Yes.
Okay, so please again tell her I wish her a happy birthday and good health all through the year.
Yes, thank you, Papa. I wanted to ask a question. Why is it that when you do spiritual work, it's like you forget about eating? Like, why is
Sometimes, yeah, that's why I was talking about the breakfast, because when you are getting deep into spirituality, sometimes your mind forgets about the body. So you don't feel hunger, you don't feel anything like hungry or whatever, you are just doing, and sometimes you may even later in the day be asking yourself whether you had eaten anything today. You will not even remember whether you had eaten food or not until your mind comes back to your body. So it is not only with you, but it is with almost everybody who is very seriously on spiritual path. Food is not our, food is secondary, I may say, but in reality, food should be primary, because the body is the one that carries the spirit. So if the body is not strong, the spirit cannot really work well. So you also have to learn it, even though you don't feel hungry, you have to. That's why I've been telling Sairam and everybody that they have to. They have check the power line. Then they have to. You have to find a way to eat, and I'm forcing Sairam and Sena also to be eating breakfast, because they don't like eating breakfast, and I had not been eating breakfast for a long time. So now that it's catching up with me, I'm advising all of you to make sure at least you eat some food in the morning before you start anything, start your day, before you start attending to people. Otherwise, one day when the body falls off, then your purpose and everything is gone. So it happens that when you are seriously doing spiritual work, you may not be feeling hungry. I don't know why, but it is usually the case.
Yes, thank you, Papa.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Yes, anybody else in on Clubhouse?
Hello, yes, this is Samuel.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing good. My question, and I hope you can answer it. My question is it possible, because I know you like to make a difference between religion and spirituality.
Yes.
Is it possible that someone can, like a religion can have any spirituality at all in it, at all? Is it possible?
If somebody practicing religion, if they can still practice spirituality? Is that a question?
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, okay. Is it possible for religion to, like, let's say he's not involved in spirituality, like in voodoo or Ifa or anything like that, but he practiced, a religion like Christianity or Judaism, Islam. In your opinion, is it possible there's still some spirituality in those religions, or?
It depends on the. You see, I had been a Christian since birth, I would say, for a long time. But then in African Christianity, we had actually used our traditional voodoo way of practicing our Christianity. That's the truth. But you see, people do not want to accept the truth that they were using voodoo or traditional spirituality in this, because the European who brought Christianity to Africa, they do not get possessed like the way African Christians get possessed. They don't just go jumping around and prophesying and then calling on all kind of entities and music. No, we haven't seen that in the church. But when Africans become Christians, they begin to get possessed by the deities and spirits in their houses whenever they are doing anything they call Christianity or practicing religious practices. Then people get possessed. But at the same time, they are denying the fact that they are connected to their roots in tradition. We can see it all, because I was always asking myself, why is it that a white man doesn't get possessed in the churches, in their churches, like the way our people here, the moment they start praying, people just start jumping and rolling on the floor and all this. So people can actually practice religion and also practice voodoo if they want. But for me, personally, it's because I saw too many deception in the church. That's why I don't want to mix anything religion with my practice. But that doesn't mean other people cannot do. People can definitely, if you want to be religious and at the same time spiritual, it is your own personal experiences that will tell you whether it is working for you or it's not working for you. Because I personally think that religion is more of a social gathering than spiritual, from the experiences that I have gotten. But for the religious people, they themselves tell you they are doing spiritual thing. But for me, from my looks, I don't see any spirituality in their practices. It's rather just what do you call it? It's just religious practices, no spirituality in that. But people can choose if they want to be religious and at the same time be spiritual. It's up to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Sarah, I think this was not charging. The phone wasn't charging. Even though we lock it is coming from there. It wasn't charging. That's why. So now it's because I just found it's only now before it started charging. That's why it went off. But is that connected already? That one is also not connected to them. No, if it's on now, it's okay. But so you can, whatever I'm doing is live there. Okay. So what charger is it using? Android charger. It's not C charger. Okay. Please. Yes, okay. We have a Lauren Volkman. Say, good afternoon, Papa. Can persons who are initiated into the lodge that Mami Wata or other voodoos be initiated by your shrine? Yes, of course. We initiate people. Even there was a very big priest in charge of one African in Ghana, one of the and he came for initiation so many years ago. I initiated him. So we don't have a problem with anybody who wants to, because this Mami, Danvodu, and all these things are from our own Yeve and Eve spirituality. There's nothing wrong with them in any way. But we generally, we were not practicing Danvodu and Mami and all these things at our shrine. That wasn't, because I've seen too many of, what do you call it, tricks. I'm sorry to say, so much of tricks and deception, because I am a fully fledged illusionist, and I have performed magic around the world on big stages and small stages all around the world. So when I see our people using entertainment magic, using it as a spiritual as a spirituality, which in reality it is not, that makes me not to be attracted to this Mamiwata and Danvodu and all kind of things, because there's too many tricks in what those people do, and they call it power. Even some of the masquerades that parade around and people call it spirituality. For me, being a magician, I can see the illusion that is being portrayed to us as a spirituality. And one day, if people discover the trick in that, and if people are wise enough, our practices will just dry off. Because when you are parading things and calling them it is a voodoo that is working, no voodoo can work physically by going to hold a knife or hold an axe or be dancing. No voodoo can ever do that. Voodoos don't do that. But voodoos can possess people, and people may hold knife and hold axes, and people may dance and do healing and all this thing. I agree. That is when the voodoo mounted you, and then you are now possessed, or the voodoo has taken control over your body, which is possible. But the fact that the voodoo by itself can start dancing and be walking and opening itself to see whether there is something inside of me, I have not believed those things until today. So that is why we were not so much into this Mamiwata and Danvodu, Zangbeto, and all kind of things, and masquerades or whatever. That's why, because I want to teach the real thing. I'm not using tricks. I don't want to use any stage magic things as part of voodoo practice, because voodoo practice is very real. It's all nature. That saying I'm coming, this thing is shaky and shaky. I don't know what's happening. So I at our shrine, at the African Magic Temple, we don't want to use tricks and tell people that that is spiritual power. Spiritual power is real, and you can experiment and experience it yourself. It does not need to be tricks. But a lot of people, because they don't possess the spiritual power itself, they add tricks and all this and present these tricks to people, and people look at these tricks and think that is power, and the propagators tell people that this is voodoo, which in reality is not. I don't know how many of you have watched the voodoo during the COVID, the early days of COVID, when some people went to some voodoo and prayed, and then the voodoo carried an axe and said, okay, he's now going to face the disease and it will never come to Togo. Go and ask Togolese how many people died from COVID. See, these are tricks. But then a lot of people believe that voodoo can hold something and carry a spear or carry a weapon. Voodoo doesn't carry a weapon. You can put the weapon in its hand, but the voodoo cannot carry it. But spiritually, the voodoo can use that weapon to work. But physically, no voodoo can move. There can be no physical movement in any voodoo, whether it's Zangbeto or it is Kelekbeto or whatever. Those are all illusions. But that's what people fall to. People like to see that, so they'll present it to you. So for us, we are open to teach people everything if you are only willing to learn. And our tutelage, we are ready to teach you, anyone who is ready to learn. And then that's when you begin to really work with the voodoos that you have. You can now work with them knowing that you know what is the reality. So thank you very much. What's the name of the cut that thing off? remove the Lauren Wagman. Thank you very much for that question. And then we have Ernest Aleche. Papa, good afternoon. Please, can one undergo divination without visiting your shrine? Yes, Ernest, you can undergo a divination without visiting the shrine. There's so many people outside of Ghana, outside in the world that we have never met physically before. And they ask us for divination, and we do divination. We have our process where when you are not physically present, the process is different from when you are physically present. But we can do divination across oceans. Anywhere in the world, we can do divination. I want to undergo divination to understand some darkness of my life, but I'm far from Accra. No problem. You should call the shrine's number and book an appointment. They will tell you things that you have to send to us through mobile money. And then we will do the divination for you. You will speak on the money. When the money gets to us, we will call you and you will speak on the money. And then we will do the divination. The result will be the same, whether you are physically here or you are far away. You will still get the correct reading and the answers will be fine. Okay, we are done with that. We are done with that. So people in on Clubhouse, please, if you have some question to ask, let's go.
Papa.
Yes, Shamba.
You know, I had that reading to do for that person.
Yes, the one you did. The one you did 2 days ago.
Yes, yeah. That was the one to where I said I didn't think about eating all day because this person was like a mad person.
Yes, and you said.
But they were normal at first. Like I know the person. Like I never really seen this before. Like I ever had this problem like come to me and I had to do something. But like the guy, he was normal and then he started going mad. But then he came, his brother brought him to me because his brother had got a bath from me before.
Okay.
And it helped him, helped his mind clear up. But this guy, he wasn't talking or anything, Papa. And I gave him a bath from the Akpo, from Amazega.
Amazega, okay.
And the guy, after he took the bath, like, he was able to like rest and
he calmed down.
Talk some.
He calmed down and then he was able to talk.
Yes, probably true. Yes.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's why you have that's why you have the tools that you can use.
Yes, Papa. But when I was doing the reading for him, you could see like how you did witchcraft. The witches attacked him, but it's like his hand. You could see it in his hands. Like one of his hands just stayed stiff. And his brother, he said, "Hey man, relax your hand." But he relaxed it, but the hand, I watched his hand go back into stiff mode, Papa. And to me, it looked like it didn't look normal.
He was not in control. Something was controlling him.
Yes.
So when you bath the Amazega for him and things cooled down?
Yes, no, he cooled down, but it's just, you could tell it was how we did the reading for him.
Okay. So was he himself able to speak on the money?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
That's good. That's why I was asking you how did you do the reading? How did you ask him? And then if he himself was able to speak on the money, then whatever you got was the correct answer. It's just witches that are in his life, and he needs to quickly take care of him, and we have to close the portal of death for him. But he'll be fine. You have the tools with you, Shamba. You can use them all. Akai is there. You have Amazega. You have Akbo. You have all the other things, Legba, and all these things are with you. So just keep trying. You get there.
Yeah.
Because the things
It's crazy because I've never seen.
Yeah, because all the things you have with you are healing tools, and you can heal situations that are very, very abnormal, and everybody is scared of them. But once you pour libation to the things you have, and you ask them to take control, you will see that the person will be okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, we have a NS Aleche again saying, okay, thanks for the explanation. I would reach out to you via the shrine number. Thank you very much, NS. Thank you very much. And let's go to YouTube and see. Okay, we don't have many people on YouTube. Usually when the section is about to close, that's when so many people come. So please share these things on your platform and ask other people to join in to ask questions if you can. We have Lauren, is he? It's Vlogman, it's not Vlogman. Okay, Lauren Vlogman is Papa. If you would like to have divination on a specific issue, for example, myself and partner relationship, instead of general reading, is it possible? Yes, of course. Lauren is saying the problem is that divination must be specific. When you want to ask questions to specific issues that are pertaining to you. You must ask a question to what you want to know. You don't ask general question, unless of course you just want everything general. If you are having a relationship and you want to know whether this relationship, this partner and myself, is it okay for us to be able to live together or do things to invest together? You must be specific. When you are specific, the oracle also will be very specific and tell you. But if you are very general, so the oracle also will have to travel generally to get whatever is happening and tell you what you should do. So divinations on anything that you want, however you want it, is what you should do. So it is during the time you are speaking on the money that you are going to give to the oracle. That is when you will mention what you want. And then the oracle should be able to tell you what is happening and how you can handle that situation and overcome it. So, Lauren Blockman, yes, you must be specific when you are talking or when you want to do a divination. Thank you very much. Okay, no questions on no questions or greetings on YouTube and on Facebook. There's nothing there now, so we will just wait, and when people are ready, they can send us and or ask us questions. So that's fine. Thank you.
I had a question I wanted to ask. I don't know if it has been asked before.
Better come and ask it so that it can other people can also hear what the question is. The microphone is here. Okay, we have a technical advisor, one of our technical advisor here, Lamine Diakite from Niger, and he's one of the people helping African Magic Temple translate into French and also do the IT work. He wanted to ask a question.
So I don't know if it's been asked before. Good afternoon, Papa. So I had a question regarding ancestors, and I wanted to know whether in the African traditional religion or Ewe cosmology, whether ancestors are also regarded or considered as deities.
No, ancestors are not considered as deities. The ancestors are called ancestors, and deities are called deities. There's a mistake a lot of people were making, thinking that the voodoo that our people pay homage to are called ancestors. And it has been like that within the African context, especially young people, and also in the diaspora, and they were calling every voodoo our ancestors. Voodoos are not our ancestors. They cannot be our ancestors. Our ancestors are people who we share the DNA with. These are the people we call our ancestors. Yes, you can include other people who you do not share DNA with, either through association of them being friend, family friend, being your teacher, or someone who had helped you, even maybe your adopted father, a father who has adopted you as a child. That person can also become your ancestor. That person is also your ancestor should the person pass on. Why? Because the person had taken you in as a child and has given you food and water and has taken care of you. So when that person passed on into the spiritual realm or into the ancestral world, you can still invoke that person, because while the person was alive, the person was caring for you or thought good about you, had a good intentions towards you. So if you are pouring libation and you call upon that person, though the person may not be a direct blood relative, that person can be considered your ancestor, and that person will answer you. Take me, for instance, Togbe Tuji is my teacher. Bokor Dafliso is my teacher. Bokor Afachao is also my teacher. And all these people I'm calling, I call my grandfathers who are my direct blood lineage, who I am connected to on the DNA or blood. But then after that, I call my teachers and people I had associated with in my life to learn, and they have passed on. I pour libation to them, and they all fall into that ancestral line. Voodoos, on the other hand, are nature spirits, which through the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors, we are able to create something we call voodoo, like this akai, where we use different herbs and some other things to create it, so that when we call on this particular energy called akai from the spiritual realm, it will be able to come and manifest itself and then connect with us, and we work together as partners. Those are deities. They are not called ancestors. But there are certain voodoos that your fathers and your ancestors has dealt with before you. People before you had dealt with those voodoos. You can call those voodoos ancestral deities. Means they had been there before you, so they belong to your ancestors. It's not like you as a person, you went and paid money and the voodoo was made for you. But it's a family thing that had been there before even your fathers were born. So you can call them ancestral voodoo or ancestral spirit, but they are not your ancestors. It can never be called your ancestors. That's a mistake a lot of people have been making. Voodoos are voodoos, deities are deities. They are not called ancestors. Thank you for that question. Thank you for that question, Ramin. And then we have Sister Nicole again. It's from, I think she's from Israel, saying that, Baba, in the meantime, I would like to know if you have any turtle stories. No, I don't have turtle stories. I don't have turtle stories. No. I don't have any turtle stories. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not from the riverside, I'm not from I'm from the forest zone or the savannah zone. We have stories of tortoise that had gone with, they say, I was telling my children the other day and they were laughing, that the tortoise and all the animals, there was a hunger or a famine where there was no food, and finally food came, and they said everybody who wanted to eat the food must go and wash their hands in the river before coming back to eat. But then the tortoise, the way it walks, by the time it finished washing its hands at the river and get to the food, the hands are dirty again. Then they'll tell the tortoise to go back and wash the hand again. So by the time tortoise finished coming back, the food was finished, so tortoise had to be hungry. So they were laughing. So usually when they insult you, you are very dirty like the hands of a tortoise. It's a very bad insult in our language or in our culture, in the area I come from. But turtles live in rivers or live in water, so I don't think they are dirty. But then the tortoise lives on the land, so it's always dirty. Its hands are always dirty. So that's all that I know, but I don't have any tortoise or turtle stories now. Maybe I'll have them in the future. And then Sister Nicole is again saying that they are sacred in my home indigenous American tribe, the Katuaba too. So I'm curious. Okay, yes, I'm sure, especially people who live near oceans and all this, they have turtle stories and all these things. Those of us who live in the forest zone, we have stories of animals and gazelles and lions and other stories is what we have. But then sure, there may be some other part of voodoo land or evil land where people have stories of turtle. But I personally, where I come from, we don't really have turtle stories. Thank you very much, Sister Nicole Lasha. And then we have Kojo Warren showing love to us. Thank you very much, Kojo. And then again, they say Kojo Warren is again saying, blessed Papa. Thank you very much, Kojo, and bless you too. Kojo is asking, I have been following Papa and his children on Instagram for a long time. I have a question, Papa. Go ahead, Kojo. Say, yesterday on my way, I saw cowrie shell, and I would like to know if it has any spiritual meaning attached to it. Thank you. I am not very sure, Kojo. Sometimes it may, sometimes it may not. But cowrie in our tradition represents spirituality as well as money. That's why, the Ghana cedi is even called the cedi, which is coming from the word cedie, which is cowrie. So the cedi is coming from cedie, which is a cowrie. So cowrie represents money, and at the same time it represents our traditional spirituality. So when you come across it, maybe the spirit world or your ancestors are trying to tell you a story, but I cannot be very sure to say so, unless, of course, if you want to go deeper than that, you may ask a divination to be done to see whether the finding of the cowrie is any significance to you in any way. So that's it. Thank you very much. And then we have a Sister Nicole Lasha. Again, say thank you anyway, Baba. Thank you to Sister Nicole. I'm very grateful. Thank you to you. And thank you all for the questions you are asking. Okay, we have our sister and daughter Jane Tiffany Mamisawa Akofo in the US. And good afternoon, Papa and family. Hello, Mamisawa. How are you? Good afternoon to you too. Hope you are fine. I know you're getting ready for your big day. We are praying for you here seriously so that everything will come through successfully. Today I'm going to Jopata Shrine to do some work, and I'm going to mention you to Jopata and tell him that you are getting closer to your days. So we will be praying for you. Thank you very much for joining the section. We have Abraham's Leon. Papa, how long does it take to get a reading? I'm from Guyana. Oh, reading doesn't take any long time. Once we get the money, you either get the reading that very day or at most the following day. How come the following day? Maybe when we may be very busy or send the oracle and it take time for us to get some information. But it is that very day you can get this. If it takes any time at all, then maybe the following day, depending on the time that we send the oracle. If we send the oracle too late, we may want to take rest and wake up and ask what has information they have for you. So it doesn't take long at all. Thank you very much. And then we have the Jane Mamisawa was saying that that's so unfair to the tortoise. Yes, Jane, it's very unfair to the tortoise because that story was told to we children in the sense that we should learn how to tolerate other people and also be fair in our dealing, because and you know, in this life, especially in Africa, there are people who have that nature, who are bosses, who will be deceiving and treating their subordinates or people who are lower than them, and they alone will take everything, and the people at the bottom get nothing. It's happening every day in African politics, where one politician takes everything and other people will not even having water to drink, or people may be drinking water with goats and sheep and pigs together. They don't care, so as long as they can stuff more money and build houses in foreign lands, and then send their children to good schools outside, while the schools in their very home countries are in dilapidated buildings. Even recently in Ghana, I heard that some building fell during a storm and had some children in the north. So these are the things that are happening. Of course, our current government is doing its best to help students and schools through this free education. That's it. But there are so many times that so much needs to be done than what is being done now. And of course, it also depends on how much money the country has. So they cannot do more than what they can do. They are doing what they are doing. Yeah, that's all that I can say. But this kind of things happens in Africa, where one person takes too much and the others got nothing at all. That is the story of the tortoise. So it's this unfair situation is very common in our country, Africa, in our African countries. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. And then we have Osaji Fukwami Amo. Papa, I was named after a great man who was powerful, and how can I get some of his power as I was named after him? Mr. Osajibo, I don't know. You were named after somebody, and then I am not the one who named you after him. So how can it be me who will tell you how to get some of his powers? The person who named you after that great man should be able to tell you how that man was great and why they gave you the name, and teach you how to get some of his powers, if there is something like that. Who said that when they name you after people, then you can get people's power? Otherwise, all the people they call Emmanuel in the world will become like Jesus, if there was a Jesus. Yeah? Otherwise, everybody they call Emmanuel, or even people they call Jesus, they would have been like Jesus. And they would have got the power of Jesus. Nobody says when they give a great man's name to you, that means you acquire that man's names. It is be your own efforts if you want to learn spirituality. It is your own efforts that will get you to get power. It is not anybody who will hand over power to you, or anybody's name that they give you, then you just got power. I've never heard it before. Maybe there is, but me, I haven't heard that people, by giving somebody's name to someone, they begin to get that person's power. No, I don't think so. Thank you in a way. Then we have NS Aleche again. Say, Papa, please, if any of one relative has one being part of lodge, can that affect his or her generation who were born later? I don't understand when you say lodge. What kind of lodge? NS, you say lodge. What kind of lodge do you mean? And why should your father being a member of a lodge affect your generation? It depends on what you are calling a lodge. Yeah, I don't know what is the lodge. But if your father was in a shrine, and if he got involved with some shrine, and through the help of that shrine or the teachings from that shrine that has made his life, and he as a father made a pledge that myself and my children will continue to be on this path, and without him teaching you people or teaching anybody from the generation before dying, you have no allegiance to anywhere, any time. But if your father or grandfather had led some of you to the path of truth and telling you that, okay, this is the way I was able to take care of my family, and I want you people to continue in that tradition, and you people refuse, then alone can some repercussions or consequences come, because whatever he has done was supported by certain energies, and that's what has fed the people who had given birth to other people. And if the thing has been abandoned and there is no more respect and all this, a time will come that thing will be asking questions. So why did I save you people and save your fathers, and then you have ignored me? I think even in the Bible, God was asking such kind of questions to whether there is a God, whether that is God or it is just story, we don't know. But there are certain things that God will ask for. Why have you forsaken me? Why have you abandoned me? Even Jesus Christ, according to the Bible, asked his God that why he has abandoned or forsaken him. So definitely spirits, when they have helped you before, they will ask you a question. But whether it is the belonging to lodge is what is the effect or the generational thing, I don't know. And then somebody replying to Sajifo said, Papa, I was named after. Then the Jane Tiffany Mamiso said, pray to him, call on him in libations. Okay, that's another way to do it. So you can pray to that your ancestor whose name has been given to you, and then pour libation towards him. Maybe he will come to help you. Thank you. Like Mami Sewa said this. Yes. Oh, she retracted it. Okay, we have a Lustig again. Hello, Papa. I was really surprised last week to learn that even in every spirituality, you still refer to the fowl as akuko. No, we don't refer to. No, that was, I was saying that it is not true. In every spirituality, nobody calls fowl akuko. We call it koklo, not akuko. Koklo. Nobody in every spirituality calls fowl akuko. There is a plant called akuko, not akuko, akuko. It's a plant, but chicken is never called in every spirituality akuko. No. Maybe you misheard what I was trying to explain. I was saying that in the diaspora, certain people who are in maybe Haiti or just in the diaspora generally, people mix up different African names because they came from different backgrounds. So people were calling chicken akuko, and they were saying it is Ebe voodoo. And I was disputing that no, the Ebes do not call chicken akuko. It is an Akan word. And somebody was trying to explain what akuko ye or something. Somebody was explaining that to me. So the Ebes do not call chicken akuko. unless the Eves who stay in Akan land and trying to mix Akan language and Ewe together may make that mistake by calling a chicken akuko. But the Eves do not call chicken akuko. We call it koklo. Koklo chu, that is a male one. People will say koklo lo chu, and that's the male fowl or the cockerel. And then we call the hen koklo no, the mother of koklo or koklo chicken, female chicken, koklo no. So there is nowhere in every spirituality that chicken is called akuko. You misunderstood what I was saying the other day. Then he said, still refer to flowers, because I knew the meaning, the word long ago. Yeah, it's a chicken, but it's a Akan name, it's not Ewe name. So people in the diaspora who are mixing the Ewe voodoo and calling chicken in Ewe akuko is what I was referring to. Definitely the word akuko means chicken in Akan, not in Ewe. So people who were calling chicken Akan, in Akan language and saying that it is Ewe word for chicken, they are wrong. It's not, they are wrong. It is not. So the chicken is what we use to fight forward when it comes to our spirituality. Yes, I think you were the very person who was trying to explain it. So in Chui, it was coined from the expression yedi koko yenim, yedi koko yenim. Anytime one visits the shrine, he or she will sacrifice a fowl. At least this topic came up late last week. I'm sorry, it's quite long. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom. It's okay. Thank you very realistic. I think you were the one explaining what akuko is. But we don't call chicken akuko in Ewe. We call it koklo. So in the diaspora, people say that in Ewe voodoo, chicken is called akuko, which is wrong. It is just a language misunderstanding or the hodgepodge of every language. Like people call voodoo or spirit in Haitian voodoo lua. We don't have anything in Ewe called lua, but I believe the word lua may probably be coming from the East Africa and Central Africa. And then it found its way into the people who were taken to Haiti, and they are all doing the same things. People start calling it lua. We don't call spirit lua in Ewe language. They are called Bokor or voodoo or hum. So there is no word like lua in Ewe voodoo. But then it found its way in Haitian voodoo, whereby people believe that the word lua is coming from voodoo word from West Africa. No, it's not from voodoo word from West Africa. It may be coming from another ethnic group who uses spirit as lua. And then we have Jane Tiffany Mamisoa saying, last stick, that's interesting. Yeah, but then it is not, we don't call chicken akuko in Ewe. I don't know anywhere in Ewe land that chicken is called akuko. Never. It's called koklo. Yeah, then we have NS Alaiche here. Okay, thanks for the explanation. I was told my grandfather who gave birth to mom was once a member of a large group, but we, his grandchildren and his children, do not follow his path. But I realize we don't have peace in our family. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, so your mom, or if your mom is alive, and the person who told you that your grandfather who gave birth to your mom was once a member of a large group, you must find out what kind of large group was he a member of. And it is only through that you know, because I believe people who belong to lodges, if we are talking about the European lodge, then in that case, there might be names that had been, his name will still be there. Bring it down small. His name will still be there as a member. But if you are talking about a local lodges, I don't even know what is a local lodge, because like we in my house here, we have Akpo, and there are certain members from different places who come and join together when we want to feed the Akpo. Whether you call that a lodge or you don't call it a lodge, I don't know. Me, I only know that I'm doing African traditional spiritual practice. Whether it is a lodge or it's not a lodge, I don't know. So you must find out from people who gave you that information, that what kind of lodge was he a member of. If they are talking about Afa initiation as a lodge, then you must also find out what kind of Afa was he having. Because Afa, we have so many different types of Fa. Even though they are all of them are called Afa, but they are different. So you must find out, and then you people can easily do a reading to find out what is happening to the family, and then Afa will be able to, when you do a divination, Afa should be able to tell you what is happening to the family and what people should do to have peace. So thank you very much. Who is that at the top? No, the person who has is it? Yeah, NS Aleche. So try to find out which lodge or whatever your grandfather had belonged to. Then NS again, the people of Tafi in the Volta region call it Okuko, but their language is not every language. Thanks. Okay, NS, thank you very much. Yeah, in Tafi, they are not. They have their Guan language, so they will call it Okuko, but then it's not Ewe. Yeah, it's not Ewe. Ewe people don't call it Akuko or Okuko. Then it is the Guans that are the original people of the Ghana and the Volta region. They may call it that way. Then we have Kojo Warren saying, thank you, Papa. Thank you to Kojo. And then we have Jemin Hangi here. He is laughing. Thank you, Jemin Hangi. Thank you very much. Let's see if, I think we don't have so many today. Okay. So people on Clubhouse, do you have any question over there, please? Okay. Okay, we have Big Sister Oluchi Osuwoke. In my language, we call chicken okuko. Okay, so you can see that different places are having almost similar. So if through the migration of our people into the diaspora, the word okuko becomes a very common name for chicken, then you can understand that it is from different roots, okuko. But we call it okoklo, just koklo. That's all the name that we call this. So thank you very much, Big Sister Oluchi Osunke. Because in Akan language, it's called akuko. Then if it is in your language, which is and it is called okuko, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Africa is one. So we'll be playing some videos for a while because we're not seeing any questions from anywhere. So we just can't just sit down. So we'll play some videos for you.
male plasilo yo. Megadeo male lo. Megadeo male lo. Megadeo male lo. Adela megadeo male plasilo yo. Megadeo male lo. Megadeo male plasilo. Megadeo male lo. Adela megadeo male plasilo yo. Megadeo male lo.
In every cosmology, there are three gods. One is called Mao Sobo Lisa, the one that is.
Aba mama legali jrolo. Aba mama legali jrolo. Awi now.
In every cosmology, there are three gods. One is called Mao Sobo Lisa, the one that is always changing and changing and changing. Then there is the Mao Kiti Kata, who is a supporter of Mao Sobo Lisa and the one that is creating and overseeing the creation. And then the third one is called Mao Ese, the one that has brought each and every one individually or created human. So in every cosmology, there is one God who only creates human beings. There is the other one who created the world, and there's one who oversees it. So the Mao Ese is the one that creates each and every individual. So for you to be born on a Monday, to be born in America, born in Japan, or born wherever, it is your Ese. Ese is, in English, is called destiny. Every culture has a word for destiny. In our Akan language, it's called Nkrabia. And in Japan, they call it Umme, which is destiny. So every culture, whether Africa, Europe, Asia, wherever, they have a name for destiny in their language. And your destiny is not the same like another person's destiny. We all have different destinies. Just like our fingerprints. No two fingerprints are the same. So it is with destiny. So destiny is the one that directs your way. When it makes you fall down, makes you wake up, makes you to grow up, makes you to become a leader or fail in life. It's all your destiny. Everything that happens to you in life, to get a good husband, a good wife, a good job, good education, parents that you will be born to, is all directed by destiny. You can be born by poor parents, but that's what your destiny chose for you. But then with that poor parents, maybe through their guidance, in a way, that is how you will be. So are people also born in royal houses and everything is on silver platter? They eat with golden spoons. It is their destiny. So destiny is the most powerful part of God in our culture. So today, what I'm going to do is that I had already removed the bad destiny or the negative destiny for the person we are going to work for. And it's already gone. Now he has lived his life for a while and he felt that no, the bad destiny had been removed and things are moving for him, but he wants to really invite that God into his life to be fully in charge of him, and he will be in charge of the to direct his own destiny to whichever goal he wanted to get to. So that is what we are going to do today. To set essay. It has been molded already. Make the whole essay from the beginning. To include batting. Clothing. Feeding. And then drinking. It is because the essay is you. Sometimes you go to your essay when it's well created, and you go to your essay, sometimes it's smiling, sometimes it's angry. And it is said in every that if your essay is happy, you will be a happy person. If your essay is angry and is sad, you will be a sad person. So essay directs everything. Destiny. Now the churches and everything are having Destiny Summit. Destiny Summit. So that means there is something called destiny. And it is important. So if your destiny is not channeled properly or directed properly, you will just be going wherever without having head or tail to your life. But if your destiny is properly set, everything that is in your destiny must be realized. You must realize it. But it is you who has to work it, to let him work for you. Like we believe that God is in the heavens. That's what most religious people believe, that God lives in heaven. But you can't be here and be saying God lives in heaven and you cannot ever go to heaven. Nobody had ever gone to where they call heaven. It is just an imagination. But at least you are here. You know you are here. You know yourself. If you are hungry, you know. If you are sad, you know. If you are happy, you know. If you are having a good job, you know. If your life is not going well with you, you yourself, you know. So what do you do to change it? That is the essay. Yeah, thank you very much. I think the question who asked the person who asked the question on the lodge, Ernest Aleche, somebody from Abayomi Balogun in Nigeria wrote on Clubhouse room chat that I don't know if that person is from Nigeria. The person asking about lodge is probably from Nigeria. We have different local lodges here in Nigeria. The most common is the Ogboni Lodge. The Ogboni Lodge or cult is populated by people from all walks of life, babalawos, religious leaders, and so on. They are supposedly under the protection of the Great Mother Idan Ogboni. Okay. every member swears an oath to do the bidding of the group, and they are assured of spiritual protection. For this oath, they must also promise to pay something back in return, and this must be done before he or she dies. Otherwise, the children will have to bear the inconvenience of the payback, usually taken right after the funeral grounds. It can be very scary for a lot of people. Okay. During the payback, sometimes the dead body is commanded to rise up and confirm certain things. It's a very dark call. Maybe this is what that question about Lodge is all about. Okay, thank you very much, Abayomi. So I don't know, Enes, this is what our brother Abayomi Balogun in the UK, who also hails from Nigeria, is saying. So we don't know the question you are asking, whether you are Nigerian or you are Ghanaian or some African here. You have to let us know, because as it is told here, the Ogboni Lodge, when you become a member of it, there are certain consequences if you have not paid what you are supposed to pay before you die. So that's what we have gotten in the clubhouse chat room. Thank you very much, Abayomi Balogun. And then I think we are done. Okay, I think we have no. Okay, NSC say I love the background music and I'm feeling the vibration. Thank you. I cannot hear that because it's, the sound is minimized here. But then we are back on live, and people in Clubhouse can ask me questions if they have some questions for me. Okay, we have on YouTube, we have SB, greetings Bokor and AMT family, say are masks used in every voodoo? Do you have any thought on the many spiritual tools dispersed from Africa through the world as art in this declaration? On declaration. Oh, okay, in every voodoo, masks are not that very common. The masks are not that very common. And that's why I was speaking about the other day when somebody asked me a question on masks. Masks are not very, very common in the area that I come from. And in the voodoo, and as well as the every affair that I had practiced and have been associated with, I haven't seen very much of a mask culture where people wear masks to represent spirit. It's only in the Benin where you have the Zangbeto, the Kelegbeto, which is also a kind of a group where a group of secrecy, and only some people belong to it, and they are the ones who come out in the form of a masquerade, in the form where voodoo is moving and maybe is wearing some what do you call it, a mask to cover the face of whatever is inside. But in normal voodoo, I haven't seen very much of a mask or a sculpture. Yeah, sculpture because we carve things, but mask, because somebody asked me a question about sculpture and my mind went to what do you call it, a mask, and I was rather talking about mask instead of sculpture. Yeah, so mask is not very common in the voodoo that I came to learn and know. We don't have that much of a mask. Yeah, but maybe there are mask culture in some parts of the voodoo, but I have not been part of that, and I don't know. I don't know everything about all the voodoo that everybody practices. I'm talking about the Ewe and especially Evedome voodoo, how we practice our spirituality. That's all we are teaching here. Thank you very much. And then we have MS Donadad, Don Dada, yeah, okay, MS Don Dada saying that thank you. And then Sister Nicole also was, Nicole Lasha is saying that decoration, okay, not declaration, decoration. We may have decorational masks, but it's not very, very, very common. Because people, they fear. Mask may possess spirits very easily. But in Kenya and Yoruba, Beni, and other things, my area masks are not very much, even in decoration, hardly. But I think in the southern part of Eveland, where voodoo is practiced very seriously, there may be masks representing certain voodoos. But we have carvings which represent voodoos and all these things, but the mask aspect is what I don't know very much. And then we have Lustig again saying, Papa, thanks for the clarification. When I went to Benin, was told voodoo accepts everyone, but not everyone accepts voodoo. Voodoo respects everyone, but not everyone respects voodoo. What do you think about this? It is very true, because when the white man came with the Christian religion, our people were practicing voodoo. And when they came and said they were talking about God, our people gave them places to build their church so that they can also worship their God. The same thing with Islam. When Islam came to Africa, our people gave them place to build their mosque, to pray to their God. But after they got to stay for long, they told our people that what we were doing was evil. So we have accepted them to come into our land because we don't discriminate. But after they came and settled, they discriminated against us and are still discriminating us by telling our people that the way they worship God is evil. So it is very true, the voodoo accepts everyone, but people do not accept voodoo because, the truth hurts, and a lot of people fear the truth. Lies are very easy to live with without any consequences. But the truth, when the truth confronts you or you are confronted by the truth, there is a lot of problem if you are not truthful. So for that reason, a lot of people do not want to associate with voodoo, so they can discriminate, because voodoo is truth. It is nature. You are being with nature and you can see everything clearly. That's why I said earlier that people who are trying to put magic, stage magic, entertainment magic into voodoo, trying to make other people to think that that's what voodoo is. That's why I try to de-associate myself from such groups and people. I don't associate with those things because voodoo is real. And if you have real power, there's no need for you to be using tricks to entice people to come closer to you. But just because people do not have the real voodoo and they don't have the real power, they have to use tricks to make people come closer. And sometimes I'm even surprised that people who are as very old as 100 years plus still keep these tricks, and they are teaching to young people to use it to lure people to voodoo as if that is the reality. But that everybody has their path. I have mine. I came into this world alone, and I'm coming to do what I come to do. When I am done, I will be gone, and I will be gone alone. So I don't fight people how they do their things. but sometimes I'm just surprised the way they do them. So it is true. Everybody accepts voodoo, accepts everyone, but not many people accept voodoo. Then does that mean if one is forced into voodooism, the spirit will not work? What about people who are chosen by Afar and are asked to go for training out of their will? Voodoo will work for anybody because voodoo is reality. It is the study of nature and trying to live in harmony with nature. That's all that voodoo is, how to live in harmony with nature. So it is not a religion, but it's a way of life. So you can be in Afghanistan if you live in harmony with nature and you respect nature, you are practicing voodoo. If you are living in Japan and you are living in harmony with nature and practicing, paying homage to nature and respect nature and see God in nature and see nature as God, you are practicing voodoo. So the practice of voodoo accepts everybody. You can be a Muslim and still be practicing voodoo. Voodoo will not say anything. Spirit is everywhere. It's not, people should stop thinking that voodoo is limited to only the Ewe people. Because the word voodoo, as we had been saying all the time, means spirit. People call, in my area we call it Bokor, which means spirit. So when you are practicing anything spiritual, I'm not talking about religion, anything spiritual which is very practical and you involve nature into it, you are already practicing voodoo. Whether you call it voodoo or you don't call it voodoo, in our Ewe language, that is what it is called. In your language, it may be called a different name. But if you ask me what you are practicing in your own culture, I will call it voodoo. Just like how people are calling Palo Mayombe and all other kind of other African spiritual practices. It is all voodoo in my language. In their language, they are calling it Palo, they are calling it some other names. But that is how their language and dialect and culture is called. But if we want to translate it into our Ewe language, we will call it voodoo. So voodoo is not limited to Ewe black people of West Africa, but voodoo is a universal thing. So anybody can practice voodoo, but when it comes to the Ewe voodoo, the way we practice our voodoo is very, very serious. So that's why people are scared of it. But the truth is that voodoo is not something you should be scared of if you are a very honest and straightforward person. You shouldn't be afraid of it. So thank you very much. Is it Lustig sent that? Thank you very much, Lustig. And who again is there? We have Victor Abochikwi. Hello, Victor. Welcome to the section. How are you? It's been a while. Some spiritualists are claiming Nana Bruku is the deity of governing Ghana. Yes, Victor, you know, a lot of people who have their own this in Nana Bruku. Where does Nana Bruku come from? Nobody knows. And they have it in so many other things. So the other day we were discussing and people talk about Nana Bruku. It's only recently I am even getting someone who is a Nana Bruku priest. And I've been working for him. He has some challenges and I've been working for him and they are seeing changes. But he says that he is a priest of Nana Bruku. So I don't know whether Nana Bruku is a deity of Ghana. Ghana doesn't have any deity because we all come from different tribes, and whose tribe will say that their deity is the one that is the deity of Ghana. Every people have their deities, and my village has its deity, your village has your deity. You can't say there's a deity that is living in Ashanti region is the deity of your village. So let's forget about this, and it is not something we even have to argue about. Whatever it is the deity of somebody Whether it is deity of Ghana, or is a deity of your village, or is a deity of your house, that's your problem. Okay, we have a MS Don Dada say greetings, Bokor. I just want to ask you for a prayer. Please, my name is Tammy Ringo, and things been rough for me in my life lately. Thank you. Okay, Tammy, we will be praying at the end of the section, and we pray that our prayer will also get to you and bring some change in your life. Thank you very much for joining the section. Okay. Is there anybody on Clubhouse want to say anything?
Papa, will you have the mid-year ceremony this year?
Yes, sure. I will have the mid-year. I will surely have the mid-year.
Is it in July or?
It's at the end of June, the 30th of June, the last day of June. That's when we do the mid-year. This is just a one-day ceremony. Because the 1st of July is not a very good day for spiritual work. So we usually do it on the 30th. We may start on the 29th too, just to put everything together. And on the 30th, we will do the necessary rituals for the spirits, and that's it. And the main spirit is Jokpata that we actually do the rituals for at the end of June, 30th of June.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's keep praying that our government lift this forceful injection so that you can have a chance to come.
Yeah.
Okay, and NS Aleche is also saying, Papa, remember me also in the prayers of my life has become frustrated. My real name is Cheyi Selom. Cheyi Selom NS. Thanks. Okay, thank you very much, Cheyi. We will pray for you too. Thank you very much. And then we have our brother Bolaji Ali saying hello, Papa, on YouTube. Hello, Bolaji. How have you been? Thank you very much for joining the section. We are very grateful to you. Okay, we have on Facebook, Lastic is asking a question. Papa, can you please tell us about the spirit today? I get confused sometimes for example, Baba Legba Jokpata, you are in Ghana, some and so on. You are in Ghana, some also in Nigeria and all over the world. People are invoking him and he answers you all. Is it one entity doing all that at a time, or it has other associates? I'm coming from the layman's perspective. Thank you. Yes, I agree with you that you are coming from the layman's perspective. You see, when we say Jokpata, at my shrine, it's just like I have set up a connection point whereby I can communicate with that universal entity, which is the entity which is Archangel Camiel. The Archangel Camiel in our language, the angels are deities, or the angels are our throne, and the angels are our voodoos. So that's why the every word for angel is Mau Dola, servants of God, or the people that God sent or sends to do things. So the every word for angel is Mau Dola, the person who runs errands for God. So Toby Jokpata, as we call it in every language or in our language, is also a universal spirit. It does not belong to my shrine. It belongs to the psychic plane. It's a universal energy. What I do at my shrine is because what I do at my shrine is that I am able to set up a vessel for it so that I can communicate and work with him. So it's a deity in my shrine and many other places. And it is a universal energy, so it is not like if it is in my shrine, so it cannot work anywhere else. It is just like, let me use the telephone for instance, this telephone device. Okay, let's say I put MTN chip into it. I can receive MTN anywhere. And if you buy MTN chip and put inside your phone, not mine, you can also receive communication through MTN. And if somebody is even in Nigeria, buys an MTN chip and put in their phone, they will receive communication through MTN. What is making that possible when we all have different devices, yet still we can all have link to MTN? What makes that possible is the satellite, which is above looking down on all of us. So in this context, we can say that Jokpata is like a satellite in space and is seen everywhere at the same time. So if you are able to connect to it, through that satellite, you'll be able to receive its information and its protection as anybody anywhere. So let's just assume in this context that Jokpata is like a satellite somewhere, and it is a satellite that is overlooking the world and is able to connect with everybody at any time. So they are not like different entities. It's the same entity, but our devices or our receiving receptacle or the ports and the things that we are using to receive it is what is different, but the energy is just one energy. That's what I can use to explain what Jokpata is, and any other spirit for that matter. Then we have our sister Bella Jidepo Bacha. Hello, Jidepo Leke Mifwa Deviane Efwa Akpe. Hello, Papa. What does Voodoo say about intuition? What are some practices to enhance it or use it if possible? Intuitions are messages of your inner self. Intuition is messages that are sent to you from the psychic plane so that your inner self receives them and pass them to you as a physical person. If that information or the message is coming to you and you are able to tap into it and grab it, and then you translate it into physical action, then you see it working for you, and then you say, oh, I thought about it and I did it and it happened. But so many intuitions or these things come, and a lot of people ignore them and it passes by and go. It's just like If somebody is calling you and you don't listen to them, whether they are using the telephone or using anything, and they call you and you don't pay attention, the person will just go or drop the line. So that's what intuition is. When your inner self is trying to tell you that this is what is going to happen. I got this information that this is going to happen. But then you as a physical human being, you don't pay attention to the information that your inner self is sending to you, and you ignore it. That information will go. But then there are people who pay attention to these small messages and information that the inner self sends to them, and they work on them, and they see results. Then you call it enhancing your practice. So I mean, you call it your intuition is very accurate, because moment you think about it and you say it and you do it, you see results. What you can do to enhance this thing is that pay attention to yourself. Things that the information that come to you like a flash, some may even come in a dream form, or you may be discussing something with someone and some information will just come into your mind. Take a good look and pay attention to these informations. That's how you can enhance it and probably use it. Okay, like this abochi, which is the mirror. When I do mirror reading, I open the mirror. I don't know the customer, I don't know my client, I don't know anybody, I don't have no idea about you. When you come to abochi to use abochi for reading, I'll ask you, I don't ask you to speak on the money as it is done in Afa. You only use the money, touch your forehead, touch your chest, touch your stomach. You put the money into the mirror. Then I will close the mirror, do my prayers and everything. And when I open the mirror, I will just start getting that information, intuitional information, that this person, there is this thing happening, that is happening. Then names of people will start coming. So when I start to, I'm getting this in, I will be telling you that, oh, this is what I'm hearing, and this is what I'm seeing. And I will describe places and tell you names and events that only you was aware about them, because I don't know you, you don't know me. And that is what intuition is, because the information is coming, is flowing from you through the mirror to me. The mirror is reflecting what is happening in your life, and I am able to pick that reflection and I'm translating it into physical words for you, and you will be amazed, because you know that I don't know you, and you know that I don't know your father's name, I don't know your mother's name, I don't know your boyfriend's name, and I don't know the events that you had before coming to meet me. Meanwhile, here I am telling you everything that I wasn't present before they took place, and even to that, to tell you things that are going to happen in the past, in the future. So this is intuition at play, and it's all how you can train your mind to be able to catch the information or the vibration or the waves that are coming and translate them into words for people. Then your intuition is working. So the mind always speaks to you, or the mind and the inner self are the same. So the mind speaks to you through, or the inner self speaks to you, to the mind or whatever. And that's it. So to enhance your intuition, you must pay attention to yourself. Thank you very much, Bella, for that question. I'm saying, okay, Bolaji Ali is saying, Papa, last week you said truly initiated people are open to both good and bad spirits. Papa, how can one protect themselves from evil spirits. Thank you, sir. When you are initiated, you become like a mirror and you reflect anything in the spiritual world and also in the physical world. How do you protect yourself? The initiation itself is a protection for you. There are certain things you are told to do. There will be things that will be given to you. The spirits that will be given to you who will initiate you are going to be part of you. Those spirits by themselves are there already as a protection for you. When you are open to all these things, you will be in between the bad and the good. So you should pulsate towards more to the good side, so that the bad one does not influence you. And to protect yourself, sometimes there are so many other little things that you will be taught, and those things are going to be protecting you. And the spirits will protect you. So there's no need. When you are initiated, the spirits will protect you, even though you are open to all these things. But the spirits are there to protect you. That's what the initiation is all about. You cannot be initiated into a spirit and that spirit cannot protect you. Then there is no need to do initiation. The spirit should be able to protect you. That's the reason why we are initiating ourselves into things that can protect us. So once you've taken the initiation, you have also gotten a protection. Even though you may be open to all these things, that's what we try to say, like being open to good and bad, is that make sure if you should wish people good things, wish yourself good things. But if you are also wishing bad things to people, bad things can come to you too. Then we have Berima Kotikwesi. Greetings, Papa. Please, does the mirror also reveal dreams? No, mirror doesn't reveal dreams. Mirror will reveal whatever is happening in your life. You don't need to talk or you don't need to speak anything on it. When you touch your forehead, your chest, and your stomach, and the money goes into the mirror. The mirror goes into your life, goes back into the back scene, your inner self, your root, and everything, to pick informations, past, present, and future. And then the mirror start to say. That's why you don't even have to say anything on the money, unlike in Afar, whereby you say, oh, I want to know this. No, mirror will just go deeper into your whole life and be able to pick informations that will be told to you, and you'll be so surprised that you didn't even say anything, yet still everything is revealed. So a mirror is not what do you call it, a dream what do you call it? Narrator, what do they call it? Revealer, or what do they call it? Dream something. People who can tell you about dreams. That's not its work. But if the mirror feels that there was a dream that you had and it is affecting your life, yes, of course it will say it. But then it is not mainly for dream saying or dream revelation or whatever. Okay, let's go up. Then we have Lastic again. Papa, in Benin there is a voodoo chief in Ouida. Voodoo chief, they call him Dagbo Huno. Okay, Dagbo Huno. Huna. It is believed that he is the most powerful before the Afa priest there. Can you tell us more about this? I don't even know this name ever. I've never even heard the name before until today, that there is a voodoo called Dagbo Huno. I don't know it, so how can I talk about it? I am saying every culture, every community has what they call their powerful spirit. The powerful spirit in Benin may not be the powerful spirit in my village. and may not be the powerful spirit in my shrine. It can be a powerful spirit in somebody's shrine, because wherever they are, also that place is also a shrine of somebody or a group of people. So this Dagbo Huna, the second, it is believed that he is the most powerful before the Alpha priest. I don't know. Maybe it is in Benin there where he is powerful, because he's not a priest in my land, and he's not a priest in my temple, and he's not a priest in my village. So how can he be the most powerful priest? Yes, I agree that he may be the powerful priest in Wida. Whether he is powerful than Alpha priest or not, maybe how can someone who is not an Alpha priest himself be powerful than Alpha priest? If you are not an Alpha priest, you can never be powerful than an Alpha priest. But there is possibility that he himself also was a Bokor or is a Bokor, and then he has learned so much, and that's why people are regarding him as the powerful. So everywhere there are powerful people depending on the community. One community's powerful person may not be the same powerful person in another community. So the possibilities are many, but then it is not everywhere. So I don't know about, I've never even heard about this Dagbo Huna, the second of Wida. I've never heard of him. I don't think I will even hear of him if you have not mentioned his name, because I don't deal with everything. And is it true that the voodoo chief is more powerful than Alpha priest? That I cannot tell, because I don't think so. But Alpha priests are also in different classes. Not all Alpha priests are equal. Because there are certain Alpha priests who know so much, and they can, by one word, change a whole situation. And then, of course, there are some also voodoo people who also get power so much that they can also, by saying one single thing, so many things happen. So it depends. There is no one person who is the most powerful. Each person, each and everyone has their own power in different ways. If people are saying somebody is powerful, what do they mean by the person powerful? Because he can make you die easily or kill people easily. Is that what they call power? Or you by going to his presence, all your problems are solved? I don't know what people mean by saying somebody is powerful. So I'm not sure I know anything about this priest, and I don't think I know, I don't know anything about this priest. But he may be a powerful priest, but I think so there may be a priest and some priests like that, but I've never had contact with them. So thank you very much, Elastic. Okay, let's see if there's any more. I think there is nothing there. And I think we are done with Bolaji also on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Clubhouse. Do we have any information there? Anybody there? Any people there with any question?
Papa, sorry, I didn't mean to call you. That was a mistake.
Okay.
I accidentally called your phone.
You were calling? Okay, I didn't. Yeah. I just saw I saw that somebody was calling with the WhatsApp back. I didn't. I wanted to. Okay. I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a mistake, Papa.
No problem. Yes, Mami Sewa, Jane, Tiffany, Mami Sewa, Akofo say, yeah, I was wondering what powerful means. That's very subjective. Yes, that's why I asked. I don't know what people mean by somebody being powerful. Is it the person can do harm to other people? Is that what they call being powerful? Or if you go to the person that can solve your problem, is that what powerful? Because most of the time in our land, where a person who can cause havoc and cause harm to other people is what people call powerful. So I don't know in which sense the person is called powerful person. I cannot understand. So we have tantric power. I say, Papa, to the person who mentioned Dagbo, they must know that there is both a real Dagbo and a fake Dagbo in Benin. Too much controversy with that situation in Benin. What is Dagbo? Me, I've never even heard the word Dagbo even before. So thank you all for the contribution, tantric power. I don't even know what is Dagbo before I would know who is fake and who is real, you know. It does not occur, it doesn't happen in our area. This word is not in our area land. Maybe in Benin, you know, they also have their ways of doing their voodoo. So, but I've never even know. I've never heard the name before. The word Dagbo, I don't even know what it means in Ewe or in Fo. Thank you very much, tantric power. I think we are almost getting to the end of today's section. I have some works to do. We have an initiation to do today. So we will not be going so deep into MacGyver. We will not be going too late into the lesson because I have some rituals to do for certain people and some initiation also to do today. We will make videos of the initiation and then we will post it next time on our live section. So if anybody has any question to ask me, I'll give you the next 5 minutes to put yourself together and please ask me questions. Yeah, okay, play some video. We'll be playing some video and then we'll wait for
If you were looking for answers for something you earnestly needed, would you consider going to the shrine? You know that traditional African spirituality has in many ways been tagged archaic and demonic. But have you really ever thought of digging in to find out how different this is from your religious beliefs? So today on People and Places, we are spending the day with Christopher, who operates a huge shrine here in Accra. Come with us. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
You just lock the door and then we can go.
So, I've been curious.
This is my tool.
Yeah.
my tool, my computer. When I say computer, this is not a modern day computer. It's a universal computer that can see anywhere. It's the magic mirror.
Okay.
It's the one that is in here. So that's the one I use in working.
Okay.
It's for divination. When I want to divine, go beyond the human eyes, beyond the human senses.
So, where are we going?
Yeah, my daily plan or daily activities, whether I call it plan or activities, I don't know. But it's like I wake up, I go for a walk, and then come back, take shower, take my breakfast. And then if nobody comes to meet me here for consultation, then I go to the shrine. And then sometimes people call me to book an appointment to meet me, and sometimes also they ask me to buy some items for them.
Okay.
Maybe they had already come for a reading.
Okay.
And then we need to do certain things for them, and they don't know where to buy the items. So they ask me if I could buy the items on their behalf. So they send me money and then I go. Sometimes I'll buy it and then they'll reimburse me when they come. So today we are going to the spiritual shop where I buy my spiritual oils and perfumes and other items like incense and all kind of things. And this shop I've been working with them for the past 15, 16 years. So because they pick they sell the original item. There's a lot of fake spiritual oils in market. And if you use those fake ones, you cannot achieve the result that you want when you do a work for someone. So I always look for where I can buy the original ones, and I use them. Though they are more expensive than the fake ones, but then I want to achieve a maximum effect and result in my work. So I go to where I buy the original one. So now we are going to one of the shops to buy the oil. Then from there we will go to the market to go and buy chameleon, live one.
Wow.
Because chameleon by nature changes. That's how God made it to change. It changes things. So when a person has a situation where things are not moving forward and you want it changed, we use chameleon. Because these are natural laws. So God made chameleon naturally to be able to adapt and everything and change to situations. So that's exactly what we are going to do today.
Okay.
I had been asked to prepare an aura enhancing soap.
Okay.
For somebody who wants to boost his business is not moving and it's been at one place for so long. So I'm going to go get the chameleon and get some few other items. Some I bought yesterday, and today I'll go again get some, and then I'll prepare the soap for him, hoping, of course, with the knowledge that his situation will change. Not only the 6 flowers, so
any other thing.
The good ones are made here now.
On that license of the parent companies who are outside.
Oh, okay.
But they have some that are kind of like a fake also coming from outside and then they sell them. So then if you don't know it, you go and buy them. You won't get to what you want to do. This is the work we go through every day when you are doing things for people. No, this work is very interesting. It's very, very interesting. The work.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting. I like it.
Okay.
Yes.
Even though our people don't really understand.
Yeah, but you see, all these people in the market also have to eat. And they are selling items. Somebody has to buy it. And then if you don't know what to do, how will you go and buy it? For you, it does not mean anything. This is Aziz. He's the one who sews all my talismans. Whatever I am doing, because he is a very specialist in this. And he has been sewing my talismans since my children were small. So now they are very big boys. So they are all like a family. Yes. So this is, you see them.
I was so scared.
So here they are the chameleons. Different. So you see, this is having a different color, but it's the same. It can turn into green. It can change other colors. Even if you start looking at this, your clothing, after some time it will start to. It adapts. So that's why it's very, very, very important in spiritual things. So I'm going to get one. Minam Konko.
Okay.
You are scared already.
Scared. So which one are we getting?
I'm getting this big one because it looks very strong.
Okay.
You see, when you are doing things with spiritual things, don't get things that are weak because we are putting energy. Like Alaji said, everything is energy. When the light bulb is very weak, you can't see very well because the energy is not enough. So when you get a live one which is very active, so what the purpose for which you have gotten it, you achieve it. But if it is weak, like 3 days ago I bought one, and before I got home it died. But I didn't come directly. They packaged it and sent it. By the time I took it home, it died. And then yesterday I came and I selected a bigger and a stronger one for myself, and it is alive. And then again I am going to buy another one now, which is, so I will select the strong one.
Okay.
The stronger one.
Depending on what you are preparing, that's when you get.
But usually, if the thing is we need a chameleon to use, we use chameleon. It's not everything that you do you use chameleon for, but the things that chameleon is supposed to be used for are the things we use it for. Yeah.
So if there was a smaller one that was
like
active,
this,
you
like
would
this small.
Yeah, like this one. That's
But then I would rather prefer a bigger and a stronger one. Yeah, I always go for the bigger and the stronger one. So I'm going to get it out now.
Oh.
Yes.
They don't bite, do they?
Chameleons by nature won't bite you, but then spiritually, if somebody send it to bite you, it can bite you.
Ouch. Okay.
Okay. So this is it.
Can we put it in now so that like
I want to lock this place first.
Okay.
Because they are so slicky, and they can easily escape. And you won't find them because they can just adapt to the color, and that's it. And you can't find them, and they are gone. And they will wait until nobody is there, and they will go their way. Okay. So now we are done with this one. So this is the shop. It's called Larba. Larba is the girl who sells. Yeah, I used to buy from the mother, and then later from her. And all these people on this line, they are all my customers. I buy from them. So each time I come, even if I don't come directly, I can send someone to, because I get genuine things that are authentic that I can use. So I buy from them. I don't buy from other places.
So from here?
From here, we are going to the shrine. Okay. Straight to the shrine from here.
Okay.
So this, we will be using it towards when the sun comes down.
Okay.
We'll not use it in the hot afternoon. So when the sun comes down, then we start preparing the aura enhancing soap.
As we head, we are going to the shrine. I mean, this is just the beginning. Also, finally, we are here at the shrine. This is where everything happens. As you can see, we didn't come empty-handed. We came with something for the gods. Let's go and knock on their door.
Yeah. You, amen. Amen. Okay. You, I mean, always up. When I'm going to my bona, you always us here. My dog, Berana, talk with Damaliari, and I'm a juror. Oh, talk with Damalia. Book Madonu Basabu, Bajima, let me come and go to the not a pay. Oh, Mila, I feel over the Pamajuro over me. If I mean, I know it over it. Any potane or tono potane, good. About tea and Magberry, a cabunado, and Yatia Magberry, never would announce here. Good. And you are welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to our shrine.
Thank you.
How did you come?
We came with some gifts for
the ancestors.
Ancestors, yes.
Yo, me hop. Kudo kwera makakasenko. yo akpe mi ho godogodoro efio pogatwe afio jaha covenant togwe no hora now de oh no ga pore tepe akpe. What I am saying is that wherever you got money from before buying the drink for the ancestors, you should get them back thousands of times back to you.
Amen.
Okay. This is a place we call the anchor of the house.
Should I go now?
Yes, we'll go down. This is the anchor of the house. So in our language, we call it apeli, like the apeli is like the anchor. Here, here there are so many things underground. Some Jewish, some Arabic, some and all those things that I have learned around the world is what we anchor here. That's what we were saying at the shop there, that in spirituality there is nothing about religion. We are not Muslim, we are not Christians, we are not anything. We are just looking for the truth, and wherever we find the truth, we follow. That we leave the religious aspect out of the whole thing, and we look for the truth, which is God. When you turn your kosipuku akubia no akoso agoku tefe no ba kwa ha fo ni koku geje tasinya mo si fusi jam koso abra ko bra mi ba kwa ha me mama yen gbodwe mbara to gbanya agoku kofi akubia mensa dori efen be peku no when you me opete when you phone Celestine ya akubia Katrina akubia phone asense ko phone ya oben akubia mba kwa ha me mama yen gbodwe mbara agoku kofi na pete mba kwa ha in fact gudu me ne fa ni mi no lo agbeda me ne fa mi no gudu si tu ogbe amijere meje gaji gamegase no sese lekele ko fu amireji koro bobo na agbele sese na mi apa mi na me ne bobo e fe mi ngere re fe me ne bobo lo cho e ba yenye leti de katututu yo na mi dudu e mi poji jore mi an mi na me ne tro ni wo pete ne tro na me ne fa ni mi no. I was born into a Christian and a traditional family. My mother is a Catholic. My father is a Presbyterian. But my grandfather was a traditionalist. So I was born into this, but we were actually raised on the mission compound. So we weren't really having a chance to go to our grandfather or to see all these things, but our grandfather was the base of the whole family. But then I had this interest from a childhood. I was born a sick child. So from my childhood, my mother had taken me from one place to another just to keep me alive, just to make so that I can be alive. So all that had also played a role in my finally deciding to become a traditional African spiritualist.
But many people associate this practice with evil.
Yes.
I don't know what.
No, it's okay. You see, you have to demystify the African's mind to tell them that they are also human beings and they also matter. They also have knowledge and wisdom. You know how I classify what people call juju? Knowledge and wisdom. You see this plant? You see it has got all thorns.
Yeah.
Can you go and embrace it?
No.
Huh? Why?
Because it's going to get.
Because it will pinch you. That's how juju is like. So, but if you are stupid and you are ignorant, you go and embrace it. And then when it pinches you, you say the tree is a very bad tree.
When people come here, what kind of consultation do they normally seek?
Oh, when people come here for consultation, they come for almost everything that worries human being. Anything that worries human being, they come for that. So people come because they want their job, people to be okay. People may come because they want a wife. People may come because they want a good husband. People may come because they are sick. People may come because they want something that is not right. People are also coming because they want to learn about themselves. They want to know themselves. They want to see what is wrong with them, why others are succeeding, but they are not succeeding. What is wrong with me? I mean, they have gone to all the prayer camps. They have gone to all the great pastors. At the end of the day, they remain where they are, and they want to know what is wrong with them. If God has created everybody to be happy, why am I not happy? Why is not happening to me? And such people come and do consultation, and then we go through the oracle and try to direct them and tell them this, that is what is wrong with your life. So when you fix this and fix that, things will start going on well. And when we do, things start moving.
Okay.
So,
what kind of people come here?
Also, pastors are coming, reverend fathers are coming, Ashawa is coming, thieves are coming, policeman is coming. You just mention it. Politician is coming. Everybody comes. Just like everybody is a human being. We all have, whether you are a father, a pastor, a politician, a thief, a shower, you have needs. You need you have your life. You need certain things in your life. So it's not limited. That's why we are not a religious people here. Muslims are coming, Hindus are coming, Christians are coming. Everybody comes. We try as much as possible to cut away ourselves from religion, whereby saying that it is only this way or that way before you see God. Before the white man came here, our grandfathers, our ancestors have names for God. Each particular ethnic group has got a name for God. So how can you say that it was a white man who came and taught us what God is? Yes, they brought what they call their God to us, and we have forgotten our own, or we threw away ours and embraced their own. And they have taken, Jomo Kenyatta said when the white man came to Africa, he brought the Bible. He gave us the Bible, and we hold the Bible, and they took our land and our wealth from us, which is true. We are now holding the Bible. You know, look at our country, Ghana. There's oil, there is gold, there is bauxite, there is manganese, there is timber. How many Ghanaians are benefiting from this oil, from this timber, from this gold, from that? Let's face reality. If anybody is benefiting, probably the businessman and the politician and his partner from Europe or from wherever in the world. The rest of the people are suffering. Even the people working there are suffering. The people who own the land are suffering. The people who are in the area where they are digging gold, when you see their life, you will never want to be in a golden land or Gold Coast. But the people who don't even have gold in their land, they are building golden temples and golden mansions and palaces with gold. When you open their vault, if you see the kind of the amount of gold they pack there, you'll be wondering why. How many Ghanaians wear gold like this? How many Ghanaians will see real gold and wear it? No. Wear something they call it copper, which is a mixture of brass and copper and some little gold. And we are very proud. Meanwhile, we call ourselves from Gold Coast.
When someone comes in for consultation, are they bound to the shrine for life?
No. Nobody is bound to anywhere or this shrine for life. We are teaching. When you come here, we teach you about life. If you are a Christian, we'll teach you to be a good Christian. Now, a lot of time, people who come here, who will come and say, hey, somebody has done something to me and I'm so pissed off and I want you to kill the person for me or do that for me, are Christians.
So
unfortunately, there are only Christians who come for that, and we tell them that's not what we do here, because their image and their conception of traditional spirituality is evil, because that's what they told them. So when they are tired with whatever the church was doing and they could not find answer with their prayers and everything, they couldn't find answer. Then they think that when they come here, because devil is just beside us, and they will ask the devil now to go and do dirty work for them, which is never true. Human beings are devil. There is no devil anywhere. It is we human beings who are the devil.
So, married? How many
Yes,
kids?
I'm married.
Are
I'm
they
married
all
with
in the
I'm married with different children. I'm married with different children. Yeah. I don't force my children to follow my path. I only, as a father, I teach them the truth, tell them the truth, but it's up to them whether to follow the truth or decide not to follow the truth. Yeah.
How expensive is it to come and consult?
Spirituality in general is expensive. If you don't have the heart
for it and it is not a very strong desire, you cannot be a spiritualist because a lot of things are expensive. Buying of items, ceremonies, rituals, and all these things, they are expensive because you have to buy things to do. For our consultation here, we take 300 Ghana cedis plus 2 bottles of Beefeater dry gin as a consultation. After the consultation, whatever we see in the consultation, we will tell you, and then we will tell you what things to do to solve it. If you want to solve it, fine. If you don't want to solve it, that's your problem. We've told you. And when people from outside Ghana, because we have to go across oceans and mountains to get your information. You may be in the US, you may be in China, and you want us to consult like what we just did with that guy in Thailand. He is in Thailand, but we are consulting here, and I think we have got the real problem of the man, which is money, which we were saying nothing is happening well. So later it is confirmed that really nothing is happening. He used to have money, but he borrowed money to a lot of people, and now the people are not even paying him, and he's having a difficulty. That's why they were trying to consult us.
So if you give a client specific instructions and they don't follow,
that's their problem.
What happens to them?
No, because you see, when you if I tell you don't put your hand into fire, you go and put your hand into fire. It's your parliament who is going to feel the pain, not me.
It means that they will not get the benefit of what
if you this our traditional spiritual thing. It's like science. It's following it's a formula. You apply the formula. If the formula is not right, you cannot get the effect. It's not like just having faith. We don't believe in faith here. It's not faith. You have faith, whether it works or it's faith. You say God will do it, and when you must use spirit and ritual to work together to create change in nature. So if I give you directions and give you instructions and advise you that do this, do that, and you are not interested, I mean, it's who is suffering. It's you who is suffering. If you don't follow it, it's you who has your problem you are trying to overcome, and then they told you what you should do and you don't want. I mean, that's your palaver.
Is this a full-time job, or there is something else you do aside?
Oh, as at now, it's like a full-time job because the number of people who call and come to me are many, and I can't do otherwise. I can't do any other job. Apart from the magic, the entertainment magic that I would do to entertain people when people offer me a contract to entertain their guests or their clients, yes, then I do that as a part-time. I used to be a full-time professional magician, but now I am into spirituality, and the magic is a background thing, and it's only done once in a while when people who know me and invite me to come and perform magical entertainment for them. But then you should always know that magical entertainment is not spirituality. So people should not confuse that maybe because I'm a magician, so what I do here is magic. No. I'm doing African traditional spirituality, which is totally different from entertainment magic. It's a total different thing, but a lot of people don't know the difference. That's why the pastors and some other traditional spiritualists are fooling people with magic. We don't do that at African Magic Temple. We teach the real thing, and we do the real thing here. So, as at now, I'm doing this spiritual work as a full-time. Maybe in the future, when my children grow and they want to take it over, I may go into another thing. But for now, I am doing this because students from different universities around the world come here to study. From Legon, from a Department of African Studies, from Utrecht University, from University of Missouri, St. Louis, New York University in Dubai, Middlebury College in Vermont, and this month semester at sea students are coming here to also learn something. So it is more like a full-time job now.
Okay, so thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Well, so this is how our day with Christopher Voncujovi. He is the custodian of African Magic Temple on the Spintex Road. We hope that you enjoyed our time. We will come your way another time on People and Places.
We have some few people again on Facebook. We have Berima Kotikesi. Greetings, Papa. Please, what does it mean to be dressed as a king directed by a demise relative during her funeral ceremony? I'm not understanding your question. So that what does it mean to be dressed as a king directed by a demise relative during her funeral ceremony? I've been wondering if what the true meaning is. I'm not sure, Mr. Berima. I am not very sure what that means. You see, certain things that are done in different parts of the world and different cultures are not what is done in every culture. And maybe even if it's done in every culture, I am not privy to it. I haven't seen people dressed like a chief at the time when they are going to bury somebody. I think the best people you should ask are the people who dress you up as a chief during somebody's burial or funeral. Those are the right people you have to ask. That what is the purpose? What is the reason that somebody should be dressed up like a chief during another person's funeral? They should be the right people to give you the correct answer. Asking me here, I don't know everything about everybody's culture, and I don't know why everybody does what they do. The people who are doing it are supposed to be the right people to ask such a question. I'm sorry, I cannot tell anything about it because I don't know what it means. I, Christopher Voncujovi here, teaching, and I don't know everything about the world. I don't know everything. It is the things that I have had personal experiences with is what I teach. I don't claim to know everything. And if I don't have a personal experience of something, I hardly speak about it because if people ask me a question, I will not be able to defend those questions. But if I have had my own personal experience, if you ask me, I'll tell you, say, yes, I know this because I had experience. But just talking about what I don't know, I don't do that. It's not my way of teaching. What I don't know, I don't know. If I start to talk about what I don't know, I'll just be telling lie. So some of these questions, please, don't ask me. Maybe, I know, of course, you can ask because maybe there'll be somebody else on the platform or on the Facebook or this thing who might know something about it. But me personally, I don't know. So we have a loose stick again. Papa, please, how does one cleanse himself and herself spiritually? Spiritual bath. I don't know how you clean yourself. You need to have if you want to clean yourself spiritually or prepare a spiritual bath for you, you must know which herbs that are for the purpose for which you want to do the cleansing. There are certain times, there are certain foods you are not supposed to eat. Everybody listen very carefully this. There are certain foods that you are not supposed to eat. But you got into a situation where you had no choice but to eat that food in order to survive. If you are stupid, you will say, oh, because I am not supposed to eat it, my voodoo or my etro or my deity or my spirit say I shouldn't eat this. So even if you were dying, you say you won't eat it. But one thing you should remember, that dead people do not worship God. So if you should eat certain food and that food will kill you, or if you should eat that food and survive so that another day you can worship God, I will advise that even though that food is not a food you should eat it. And when you eat that food, you will be alive. And before you go to your voodoo, because the voodoo had told you not to eat that food, but you need to be alive before you could go to that voodoo. After eating the food, there are certain herbs that you will bath, then you cleanse yourself. So when you go to the voodoo will not say anything that, oh, you have gone against its rules. So for you to know, that's one aspect. There are certain things you will do which you are not supposed to do, but you did. And there are herbs that you will use to cleanse yourself if you want to approach your voodoo. So there are so many different types of cleansing herbs. Somebody is getting crazy. There are certain herbs that you bath the person, that the person's vibration and wavelength and everything will change and the person will calm down. So when you talk about cleansing herbs, it is knowing what herb to use for cleansing what you want to clean. So generally, you want to know how to prepare a spiritual bath, you need to know the herbs. But the common one in every land is what we call Avena. I think Avena has an English name and a botanical name, but unfortunately Senna is not here. Otherwise he would have provided, but I'm sure when you write it in a chat, he will be able to tell you people the botanical name that you can find it. That herb called Avena is the common and a base herb for many spiritual cleansing. People call it Amaga. People call it Potima. It has so many different names. That is the most common one that people use for many cleansing. They may add other herbs to it for different purposes, but the base is always the Avena, Potima, Amaga. They will use that to do so many things. So Lustig, I think that is the basic one that you can use. And then later you can learn and add other ones to it while you continue learning. Or if you yourself, you know any other, you can. But for cleansing, I would say the basic and the base, which you don't need any priest or anyone to do anything. Get those herbs, mash them in the water. While mashing them, make affirmations, things you want to happen, things you want to change, you mash them to come out of the water. Things that you don't want to happen to you, you mash them that they stay inside the water and they never come out again before bathing. So this is what is about cleansing. Remove that when you see that in cover, I can't see. By the way, this Ghana web video you just heard was the first time I heard of you, and I have been glad since. I'm really touched about the fact that you are well endowed in our spirituality and also well educated. Move this in. We are enormously grateful, Papa. I'll come and feed my essay one day. I think he's been depressed. Thank you very much, Lustig. I'm very grateful. Thank you for the question and the things we have all discussed, the comments and everything for today. I'm very grateful. My doors are always open for everyone who is ready to learn. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would like me. Okay, I think he's the last person there, and then we don't have anybody on YouTube and Clubhouse. Do we have anybody who with any question? If not, then I'm going to pray now. Oh, abu. Mayo akan becho akan ngolo akan jefo akan biso akan tronvo akan menyu akan dufia akan mami ata akan ge akan. Beli pa mi megba haja do la ko fra ba ndo ji fi to ba so me to ju. Mayo mi nu da ho gba o be wa o ka ku o pe mi o. Zango mayo mi pe vi ra ke mi ho gba se yo ra ke wo jo pata jo maku. Fokama vole mo ju chi me vole vudo me gbere o. Kokolo atol for form jobonyo he even jobonyo to ya monju to anu kwara kwa veni le pe me beto ba jo tuzo kle du o ma no te fere ka jo pata be ele afi e jo von ba jo yin jo pata be fia jo pata metro me gbeda mo lo afi fa gbe ri di na jo pata le na fi mi ajo lo o me yo ra ke me yo afeli afeklo godo zagba ja fo vifo no apenyo afeli to egble nyo afeli to asinyo afeli to onu popo onu no nyo no fo onu asisi nkuga me yo me apete mba ho. Let me talk about the proposal. I put on the group, but the rapport job before I found out the Jido now. Adela, that two Tirecawu and now, oh my top. At the no Dugia, Madua Cla. May you be uncle, a Yatape, a mayor Shema, Humfresh, or semi for a mayor, a king Tola, Pluto, Atape, and one gake, and Zanga do me what dog. We are praying for all the people who are in need, who are having challenges with their lives, people who are not finding their health, who are looking for a job, people who are in distress and are in very serious situations. May the ancestors and the gods of our fathers and their fathers and the God of nature be with them and change their situation. May this week that we are getting into or entering, may this week bring good luck, success, opportunities, and happiness into everybody's life. Good health. La mesese kula gbediro. Okay, we are done with today. I think a lot of people left the Clubhouse. We don't have many people. We only have about 2-3 people. The time you are playing the videos, because there was nothing that I think the Clubhouse people were not watching. They can only talk, so they left.
Including the avenue, I found the botanical name is newborn deer, also known as brown tree, boundary tree.
The boundary tree is the main name. And then, okay, our big sister Oluchi say, thank you very much for being with us all through. I'm very grateful, big sister Oluchi. How are you? How have you been? And we were saying that we were going to send the oracle to find the things for you, but we asked questions, we are not getting any answer yet, so that's why I kept quiet. And if anything, I will let you know as soon as possible. Thank you very much for today. May the ancestors continue to be with you. Okay, I think we are with this. We are, okay, check the other places. But usually when the thing is finished, before you see some people coming on. Okay, the last one is we have a Black Hollow 10. Good afternoon, Bokor. I'm trying to reach the man that you brought some spiritual products from. He is not replying. The one in Nima Market. Yeah, Alaji Idi. Yes, you are very true, Black Hollow. I went there myself last week to buy some things, but his shop was closed. There's possibility that he has traveled. Usually he travels to Turkey, to Saudi, Dubai, and other things to buy his stock. But if you are calling him and he is not picking the phone, he probably is not in the country. Idi, Alaji Idi. So maybe you can send a message, send a text message, and somebody may reply it, or maybe when he comes back, you reply. Because I also went to the shop just last week, last Wednesday. I wanted to buy some perfume oils, but unfortunately the place was closed, it was locked. So I don't know whether he has traveled or not, but keep trying, send some text message, and we will know what is happening. Thank you very much. And then we have Sister Nicole Lesha, who is saying thank you for your wisdom and your prayers, Baba. Thank you very much to Sister Nicole. And then Black Hollow 10 say, okay, thanks. I did message him. Okay, surely he once he gets the message, I think he was going to call you or send you a message back. So thank you all, everybody, for today. You've been a great audience, and I thank you all for your contributions. And I'll see you again next week. May the gods and the ancestors continue being with you and guide you on your path to greatness. Bye-bye for today.